Mabel Akande of Great Britain, fastest in this one, World Junior semi-finalist last year. She goes in 4. There's Klara Kaderova of Czechia in 2. Goretzka, 3rd in the national championships for Germany. She's in 3. Lane 1 is empty. Then Akande, 11:36 this season. Ran in the Diamond League in the 4x1 before the main program began in front of 60,000, so getting a taste for the big stage. Next to her, Mercy Afrifa. Very, very good runner, national champion over the 1 and the 2 for Israel. Parnis Colliero of Malta, only 17 years of age. What a stage for her. Carla Arwen Martinez of Spain will be second from the outside, silver medalist in the national champs. And Karova of Slovakia, double national champion at home. Almost a little bit of a heat haze as we edge towards the midday sun here. I can assure you none of that is making its way into the main stand, where Phil Minchell and I are still in long sleeves and long trousers. Anyway, it's good weather out on the track for the athletes in the sunshine. Kaderova, Czechia in 2, Goretzka, Germany in 3, Akande, Great Britain 4, Afrifa, Israel 5, Parnis Colliero, Malta 6, Martinez, Spain in 7, and Karova, Slovakia in 8. First of 6 heats in the women's 1, top 3 automatically returning for the semis tonight. It's the first session of 8 here in Tampere, Finland's 3rd biggest city. What a great day unfolding. A pretty even start at the moment. Akande's taken a little while to get into her running, dragging Goretzka with her. Akande and Goretzka into a minus 2.4 metre headwind. Now that's deceptive, because I'm looking at the flags on the other side of the stadium and they wouldn't necessarily indicate that the headwind would be that strong. It was a fairly even start, but Akande showed her class over the last 30 or 40 metres, and she dragged Goretzka with her for the second of the 3 automatic spots. Pretty close on the line for the 3rd, and it looks like provisionally it's gone to Martinez.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about the heat haze. I thought it was my glasses misting up, but there was no doubt at all. I got plenty of clear sight of Akande's flying away.
I thought it was a heat haze.
Heat haze.
I thought it was a heat haze. It's warm.
It's your coffee.
It's a lot warmer in the sun than it is here in the shade. Anyway, here you go. Take us through it, big man. The big Minch. He's loving it here in Finland.
So it's Akande. Wasn't the quickest of starts, but very confident, picking up and going through the gears, as the sprinters like to say, executing all the way down the home straight here in the Ratina Stadium. Coming through into quite a strong breeze, so that's a much more impressive than the clock would indicate. 11:65, she won't worry about that. She's got through quite comfortably to this evening's semi-finals, when the competition will be a little bit hotter, and possibly the temperatures as well. And so Goretzka coming through strongly as well. No surprises really there. Martinez, 11:51 at best, confirming her place in the semis as well.
Good run by the first 2, bearing in mind the stiff headwind. Akande and Goretzka and Martinez safely through. Kaderova will have to wait and see whether 12:02 is good enough.
Of course, the one final this evening is the women's 5,000 metres, with the newly minted European record holder Ines Fitzgerald going for Great Britain. But this is from the longest event on the track to the shortest event. This is the women's 100 metres, the second of 6 heats. There we go. So, Soljic Nalend. She's also a very good 200 metre and long jumper. 2 times national under-20 silver medalist. This is the woman all eyes are on at the moment, the 15-year-old Kellyanne Duala-Edimo, who's really come through so strongly. It's 11:21 for the very young Italian. Competes for the famous Milan club. Flicking through very quickly. We've got Rebecci of Slovakia, Engström of Sweden, the national indoor 60 metres champion for Sweden, Sonneville of Belgium. Here's Elzaveta Schwab, 200 metres under 20 champion, so I'm sure we'll see her in the longer sprint later. And on the outside, the Croatian Vita Penasic. Penasic, 18 years of age. Just 2 weeks ago, improved her personal best to 11.64. 3 to go through, but as we were saying, and we've said no doubt, probably later on in the programme as well, all eyes on this phenomenal 15-year-old, Kellyanne Douala-Ademo. Well, first heat was into a very strong wind. What can the Italian in lane 3 do? Well, she's out quickly, she's already in front, she's flying. Oh dear, the Slovakian's pulled up, but there's no stopping Ademo in lane 3, coming through really strongly, doing very well. Sonneville, I think, took second place there. Grbechi of Slovakia, I hope it's not too serious. The 16-year-old Slovak athlete who pulled up about 20 metres into the race. So, Douala-Ademo of Italy confirmed 11.56, slightly quicker than Akande won the first heat. And Sonneville coming through strongly over the second half of the race to take second place in 11.65. Nalend rounds out the top 3 automatic qualifiers. The Frenchwoman also going through to the semi-finals, which will be this evening.
It really is quite remarkable to think that Douala is still only 15. She wasn't born. That's a real shame for Grbechi, by the way, a real shame. She did have heavy strapping on her left knee, and she's getting a sympathetic, justified round of applause as she comes towards the line. She's third from the right-hand side, and you could tell she was quite ginger on that left leg and just probably felt it twinge. But going back to Douala, she wasn't born when Bolt broke both world records in 2009 in Berlin. That is incredible. And for her to already be in 11.21 shape is absolutely phenomenal. The key thing for the Italians, they've got to get her well managed and they've got to keep her feet on the ground. She's a huge talent. Absolutely.
Douala-Ademo winning in 11.56 there, with a very slight wind on her back, so there's plenty more to come from her. Sonneville 11.65 and Nalend 11.83. And that may well play into the hands of the likes of Engström, who might well want to be looking at that in terms of going through as a fastest non-automatic qualifier.
Well, now to the third heat of the women's 100 metres, and this is absolutely loaded. Mia Ott, the bronze medalist from the European Under-18s last year, up against Radina Velichkova, the gold medalist from the European Under-18s last year. And watch out as well for Lundberg of Sweden, who goes second from the inside. This is a very, very high-quality field. Naomi Kohler of San Marino. She's on the inside. Lundberg in 2, 7.36 indoors over 60. Bendova trains in Bratislava. Heggy Harder of Denmark in 4. Mantle of Great Britain, third in the national championships. She's in 5 with Zakowska of Poland, who set that PB of 11.46 just towards the end of July. And then the 2 big names on the outside, the small, powerful figure of Mia Ott, and then the taller champion, Radina Velichkova. So the Estonian second from the outside, the Bulgarian right on the outside and right in form. 11.45, her PB coming on the 13th of July. So it's Kohler of San Marino in 1, Lundberg, Sweden in 2, Bendova, Slovakia 3, Hagihara, Denmark 4, Mantle, Great Britain 5, Zakowska, Poland in 6, Ott, Estonia 7, Velichkova of Bulgaria in 8. The top 3 advancing automatically. Douala, the quickest qualifier so far, with 11.56 into a marginal tailwind. The first of the heats, Akande, saw her winning into a minus 2.4 metre headwind. It's blustery here today in Finland. Well, Ott, second from the left-hand side, normally starts well, but she's being put under pressure by Velichkova. And second from the right, Lundberg running well for Sweden. Oh, pretty tight. I think maybe Velichkova on this near side. Lundberg was running well on the far side. A minus 3.8 metre headwind. It really is blustering. Ott normally starts well and then has to try and find something in the closing stages, but she was instantly put under pressure by Velichkova on her outside. Lundberg over in lane 2 was running well. So Velichkova just dipping inside 12 seconds. Ott was dragged through, and Mantle has come through to deny Lundberg the third spot by 100th of a second. But what a brutal headwind. Velichkova looked really good value to duck inside 12 seconds on that performance. So good running, second from the right-hand side, Lundberg. Velichkova is just ahead of Ott, bottom left of camera at the moment, and Mantle coming through in the middle to outdip the Swede. Better angle here. Yes, it was tight, wasn't it? Velichkova, the only athlete inside 12 seconds. But very, very blustery conditions. Heat 2 with a slight tailwind. Heat 3 with a headwind of minus 3.8. It was incredibly windy yesterday, and the conditions are beginning to turn again here today. We are, what, just gone midday local time. Hopefully the wind will settle tonight for the semis of the men's and women's hundreds. Velichkova from Mia Ott and Jess Mantle. Lundberg will have to wait and see with 12.05 in fourth. So from Velichkova running into a minus 3.8 metre headwind for 11.99 in the third of the heats. Let's see what we're treated to here in the fourth.
Well, an impressive lineup here. Looking at Lohan Gerbier of France in lane 3 and Patricia Bruniger of Austria, who's come through really strongly this year. Bruniger, the Austrian, out in lane 6. There's Alexandra Yez, 11.66, the pole. There's a big contingent of poles just behind us in the stand here. Just bumping into a few of them earlier. Anyway, so we've got from the inside Carlotta Supini, Gerbier, who I mentioned, Yez of Poland, Kashina of Latvia, Bruniger, one of the favourites to go through perhaps as the 3 automatic qualifiers. Kanandukova of Ukraine, and then Pill of Sweden on the outside. Gerbier, twice French 100 metres champion, also the reigning 200 metres champion. Bruniger, reigning Austrian champion at under 20 level in the 100 metres and the 200 metres. And Karandukova as well. Been a stalwart at quite a few championships for the Ukrainians in the 4x100 metres. Now 19 years of age, representing them individually. So once again from the inside, Supini, Italy, Gerbier, France, Yez, Poland, Kashina, Latvia, Bruniger, Austria, Kadadukova of Ukraine, and on the outside, Pill of Sweden. Well, Gerbier, a great start from her. Bruniger also doing well at this stage, but it is Gerbier who's absolutely flying. Supini having an extremely good run on the inside. But that went to form. Gerbier won, Bruniger of Austria 2. Naked eye called it as Bruniger coming through for second, but as you can see on your screen on the lower left-hand side, it is being given as a photo finish with Kadadukova and Supini. Well, one of those women is going to miss out on an automatic place in the semi-finals. Now, Bruniger, 12.02, and Supini, 12.11. They go through following Lehane, Gerbier through as automatic qualifiers. Here we can see once again Gerbier, really good start. Supini at this stage coming through very strongly in the middle stage of the race. Out in lane 6, it's Bruniger with that rather flailing arm action. Nevertheless, quite effective. Brings her through. Just a few hundredths behind Gerbier, the Frenchwoman, who took that 4th of 6 heats. See that again there. Nice side-on shot. No doubt at all, though, Gerbier doing well at the moment. We can start thinking about the fastest non-automatic qualifiers as well at this stage. And it is, at the moment, 12 seconds with Vita Penešek of Croatia.
Yes, good times, considering that most of these heats have been run into fairly stiff headwinds. Very good times. 3+6.
Gerbier, Bruniger and Supini get through. Yes, misses out, and I think she'll be a little bit disappointed with that in his muscles.
So we've had a total of 9 women coming home inside 12 seconds so far. We're expecting more of the same in this penultimate heat. Good field, this. Schwartz, one of the favourites. She goes in lane 4. Is she one of a few athletes people believe is capable of beating Duala, who we've seen already qualify with 11.56? Let's see, shall we? The German goes in lane 4. Massive talent and a really good time this year, 11.24. Slater will be nearest the inside. Lane 1 is empty, so Kaya Slater, who's run a 7.62 indoors this year for Great Britain, she's in 2. Looks focused and ready. Amaya Kruse Jorgensen, national indoor champion over 200, very tall for Denmark, in 3. Then Schwartz, national indoor champion over 200 meters. Sakala of Finland will get a great cheer from the crowd, national champion indoors over long jump, 11.77. Then Yildirim of Turkey, 11.73. Akpe Moses, national champion over the 100 and 200 meters for Ireland, and Stepaniuk on the outside, only 17, but the Ukrainian 11.55 in great form. So, come on, Maya. The calls come out for the Dane. She's in 3, but on paper, we're looking for a marker here from Schwartz. Second fastest in the field with that 11.24. Keep an eye on Stepaniuk, who'll be nearest the camera in 8, and watch out for Great Britain's Slater as well. Kaya Slater in lane 2 has run 11.5 flat this year. Penultimate heat women's 100 meters, top 3 guaranteed to be coming back for the semis later tonight on a blustery day here in this great Finnish city. They're away first time, the crowd excited because of Sakala of Finland, but she's coming under instant pressure. Schwartz running really well, and so too on this near side. Look at Stepaniuk. Ooh. Now then, Stepaniuk, Akpe Moses and Slater ran really well, and the big news there might be that Schwartz was made to look pretty average. Stepaniuk was brilliant on the near side. Akpe Moses was dragged along with her, and I think Slater on the far side has denied Schwartz, the second fastest in the field on paper, an automatic berth. So watch for Schwartz. She's third from the right-hand side. Stepaniuk's got a lovely high knee lift. She's nearest the camera on the left-hand side for Ukraine. Akpo Moses coming with her, and Slater getting ahead of Schwartz just towards the line. Wow.
Well, that was a real turn up there. Schwartz being beaten into third place. But a great run from Stepaniuk, and Precious Akpo Moses carrying on the family tradition. Of course, her sister Gina won this event back in 2017. So, younger sister doing pretty well as well for the Akpos' household, with Stepaniuk. Well, of course, Ukraine, fantastic tradition of sprinters over the years. And Stepaniuk doing extremely well there.
Good run from Stepaniuk into a 2-meter headwind. Akpo Moses and Slater guaranteed to be there. Krause Jorgensen takes a non-automatic spot because there's only one heat to come. Schwartz might be okay, but she's not guaranteed, and there is one race still yet to go. Big shot so far in the women's one, 11.24, but only 11.82 in the heats for fifth. Meanwhile, there is one last heat to come in the women's one.
Yes, we're going to pick up the discus very shortly. But this is the sixth and final heat of the women's 100 metres. And Bocker of Germany goes in lane 6. She's the woman to look out for. This is Kasper Schack, European under-18 medalist in the medley relay. Moving out, saw Pellegrini there, Botin, Dimitrova of Bulgaria, Stetler, and the cameraman stops in front of Anne Bocker. Silver medalist in the German under-20 championships recently. Laura Martinez, very good long jumper indeed as well. I'm not sure, we might be seeing her in the long jump a little bit later. She's also the Spanish long jump champion as well as the 100 metres champion. And then on the outside, yeah, Helsodottir of Iceland. Pagliarini is the second best on paper, 11.47 at June, but it's Anne Bocker who we're looking at in lane 6, the 18-year-old. Well, we had a bit of a shock in the previous heats when Schwartz drifted backwards and was not in the automatic qualifying positions. Bocker to now restore German pride. Well, it's Pellegrini in lane 2 who's had an absolutely magnificent run. Bocker coming through strongly, but it's the Italian who I think just shades the German on the run in there. Pagliarini. 11.65 for Pagliarini. So one of the fastest of the morning. That was a great run. Good start from Pagliarini, and she never gave up pole position. Bocker had to work so hard over the second half of the race, but follows her home, and Martinez takes third. Those are the 3 automatic qualifiers.
Well, what a run. Yes, I know she was not running into a 3.8 meter headwind, which is what Velichkova had for her 11.99, but it was a fabulous run, second from the right-hand side from the Italian. What a 4x1 team they're putting together with Douala having qualified quickest with 11.56. She too running into a pretty stiff headwind. It was about 2.4, I think. But Bocker came through, having worked extremely hard. Now, I think from a mathematical point of view, Schwartz has made it, and she has. The 11.82 means that Schwartz does go through as one of the non-automatic qualifiers, but she'll need to tidy it up because it's very, very good so far from the Italians.
Yes, and as we were seeing Pellegrini coming through, Kasper Schick as well, finishing fourth, also gets through. We can confirm that. But that was a terrific run from Pagliarini. 11.65 in the fast finishing Anne Bocker, who we had on paper as perhaps the favourite for this race, just following a home in 11.68. Laura Martinez doing well for the Spanish to take third in 11.78. Fastest woman of the morning.
And look how relaxed she is.
Duala Edmino, yes. And I have to check, if she wins at 15 years of age, I wonder whether there's ever been a younger under-20 winner at this level. Anyway, Kellyanne Maivane Duala Edmino tops the list of qualifiers for the semi-finals later on tonight with 11.56. There's the full rundown, all the way down to Olivia Kashpachak, who qualified in that very last heat, 11.96. Those are the 16 women who you'll see in action later on this evening. Oh, there's 24. I'm not counting.
Three semi-finals.
Of course there is. Of course there is.
I know in the old days it used to be 2 semis and a first 4 from each, but now we've got 3, haven't we? And we go 2.
Yeah.
2 plus 2. Anyway.
And 3 Italians in there as well.
I knew what you meant.
Thank you.
Right.
I'm not sure I did, but thank you for helping me out.
And Yul Jensen. Right. Semi-final time. Even Phil Minshall's getting excited, and he's been there, done it, bought the T-shirt and still wears it occasionally, having washed it. Right then, 2 plus 2 across the 3 semis. It's Jelzavita Schwab, 11.88 in qualification. National champion over 200 metres. Carla Arwen Martinez qualified with 12 seconds. She has run 11.51. Akande, 5th fastest qualifier. There were 3 of them, all of whom ran 11.65. She's the 4th quickest in Europe in this age group. Exactly the same time that Pagliarina ran. 11.65 this morning, 11.47 her best. Bocca, 7th fastest qualifier with 11.68. So in theory, the real fast women are in 3, 4 and 5. Bruniger, 12.02 this morning. She too, in clear weather, has run 11.49. The flags have stopped flying, but it's cold. It's been a long day for these athletes. Zozik Niland, 11.83. National bronze over the 200 metres last year. And Philippa Engstrom, 11.86 this morning, 11.66 a PB in Uppsala, just at the end of last month. So it's Schwab, Ukraine in 1, Martinez, Spain in 2, Akande, Great Britain 3, Paglianari of Italy 4, Bocca, Germany 5, Bruniger, Austria 6, Nalend, France in 7, Engstrom, Sweden in 8. Top 2 coming back for the final. There's not a breath of wind in the stadium, but it's cold. It's been a long day. The quickest in qualifying, Akande 3, Pagliarini in 4, Bocca in 5. This could be tight. Only 2 guaranteed a place in a big final. They are away first time. It's pretty even at the moment. Good running by Pagliarini, and now Akande coming into her running. Good effort by the Briton. Akande followed by Bocca. They are the 2 automatic qualifiers. 11.48. Excellent run. Pagliarini got out hard. Akande followed her but didn't panic. When she came towards the line, it was an excellent piece of qualification from the British athlete. Pagliarini ran well, but she just ran out of steam as Bocca came through to deny her the 2nd spot. We'll keep our eye on the non-automatic times. Pagliarini at the moment 11.72. I don't think that is going to be quick enough at the end of the 3 semis.
Well, it was a superb run from Akande there, coming through very strongly over the second half of the race. Pagliarini started so well, but just weakened over the final 20 metres. There's the German who came through very strongly. Bocca to take 2nd place by Akande. Good run there from Mabel Akande. 11.48. Well, the wind, as Rob was saying, has dropped. That was much quicker than the heats, and it needed to be Bocca coming through Poor start from the German, but she managed to pick it up over the second half of the race to close out and get a space in tomorrow's final. Kande, she had a bit of work to do in the middle stage of the race. Once she got a nose in front, there was daylight between herself and the women behind her. Martinez, well, she's also on the entry list for the long jump, having won a bronze in Banska Bystrica last year, so she'll get a second chance.
Impressive from Kande because Paglianari was out quickest, but the Brit didn't panic. Germany and Great Britain through to the final. Paglianari has an anxious wait to see if 11.72 is quick enough.
10 women in this group over 173 and quite a few more, another 7 in this group. So we move on to the women's second semi-final. We go from one Italian crashing out of this competition to another Italian who we firmly expect to see progressing perhaps towards even a gold medal. Kellyanne Duala-Edimo. However, she's not the only woman in this race. On the inside, Vita Penasic of Croatia, 7 times the 23 champion over various distances. Very good Kaya Slater of Great Britain, Northern Ireland, 10.50 at best. Camille Sonnevel of Belgium, another 19-year-old, 11.55 her best. Velishkova, medalist in Banska Bystrica last year in the European under-18 ranks. She's improved to 11.45 this year. Anna Goretzka. Many of these women very evenly matched. She's got a personal best of 11.46. Only the third-ranked German. We've just seen Anna Bocco go through. But this young woman, 15 years of age, has revised the Italian under-20 record already twice. And just remember, she's got another 4 years in the ranks. 11.21 recently. Kellyanne Duala-Edimo. Lara Martinez. 3 times under-20 indoor 60-metre champion, the Spaniard. And then out in lane 8, Amaya Cruz Jorgensen. Perhaps one of the outsiders to go through. Has an 11.66 best on home soil back in June. So, all eyes, it has to be said, are on Kellyanne Duala-Edimo. Just 15 years of age, leads the European rankings. Keep an eye out as well for the 17-year-old Radina Velishkova of Bulgaria in lane 4, following in the footsteps of the likes of Yvette Lalova, a former European under-20 winner herself. Just 2 to go through, 2 non-automatic qualifiers. Settle into their blocks. Second semi-final, women's 100 metres. And Duala-Edimo is out very quickly. So too Slater on the inside in lane 2. She's having a good run, but now Duala-Edimo starting to go through the gears, and she comes through very comfortably to take the win in unofficially 11.56 into a very slight breeze. What a magnificent performance from the Italian. Goretzka, unofficial results. Goretzka coming through strongly for second place. Not going to be too far away from the personal best for Goretzka. But there's a lot more to come, I think, from Kellyanne Duala-Edimo, who took the win. A bit of a disappointing run from Velishkova. I was expecting more from her. But the first 2 home, Duala-Edimo 11.56 and Goretzka of Germany 11.71. They're the 2 women who've booked their places in the final.
It's Duala's composure, Phil, that's so impressive. I mean, this was a brilliant lineup with Velishkova, who had a bronze in the long jump last year and was fabulous for an 11.99 earlier today into an absurd headwind. But Duala just blew them all away. Fabulous second place for Goretzka. No sign of tension in her shoulders. Martinez in third with 11.78 is in the second of the non-automatic spots at the moment behind Pagliarini. But Duala, at the age of 15, she's just phenomenal. It's as if she's not yet realised the magnitude of what she's in the process of achieving. It's like that innocence of youth.
And as a sprinter at this stage in her career, she's got it all. She's a quick starter, and she's got that change of gear in the middle stages of the race, and she doesn't de-accelerate like so many of the other women in that lineup rather dramatically over the final 100 metres. She can keep that top speed going for so much longer. Superb sprinting from Look at that, 1500ths between herself and Emma Goretzka in second place. Lara Martinez hanging on to a hot seat with 11.78. No place in the final though for Sonneville in fourth place with 11.84. Kaya Slater after that, great start. She looked as though she was going to get up there in the mix, slipped back to sixth in 11.86.
Tell you what, it bodes well for the German 4x1 team with Bocker and Goretzka both into the final. That's almost Usain Bolt-esque, isn't it? Right, okay. That's kind of taken me by surprise, that. I've never seen anyone doing that in a call room, combing their beard. Right, on to the third semi-final of the women's 100 metres. Akande and Bocker from the first with 11.48 and 11.65. Douala and Goretzka from the second, 11.56 and 11.71. Who's going to take the honours here? The non-automatic times at the moment, by the way, Pagliorini with 11.72 and Martinez 11.78. Olivia Kasparek 11.97 in qualification, but she has run 11.6, and that was at the very end of July. Jess Mantle also 11.6 on the nose, outside 12 seconds to qualify, but it was very, very blustery, totally different conditions. If she runs 11.6, she's got a chance. Mia Ott always starts well, bronze last year in the European Under-18s. Could she start well and hang on this time? Precious Akpe-Moses, the sixth fastest qualifier. She's such a good athlete. Very close to her PB in qualification. One of the only athletes to do so. I think she's one of the favourites to make it through here. Now, Gerbier ran 11.97 this morning, but she is the third fastest in this age group in Europe this year, with an eye-watering 11.31 on the 18th of July. Different stage this, though. Looks pumped. Stepaniuk, you can make a case for her, 11.62 in qualifying, the second quickest to make it. Very close to her lifetime best, set on the 17th of July. She's only 17. What a stage on which she's performing. Carlotta Sapina, just 17 as well, 12.11 in qualification. Looks quite composed, actually. Now, this is the unknown factor. Schwartz is the second quickest in Europe in this age group with 11.24, but she faded in the heats and only made it through with 11.82, which is why she finds herself in lane 8. Do we get the sparkling Schwartz, or is she a little bit below par for reasons we don't know? Kasparek, Poland in 1, Mantle, Great Britain 2, Ott, Estonia 3, Akpe-Moses, Ireland in 4, Gerbier, France in 5, Stepaniuk, Ukraine 6, Supini, Italy 7, Schwartz, Germany in 8. Fascinating semi-final. The non-automatic times, if you want to keep an eye on the clock, 11.72, 11.78. There's real intrigue ahead of this third semi-final. Who's going to seize the chance? A pretty even start. Akpe-Moses comes through beautifully in the second half of the race, but look at Stepaniuk here. Fabulous run. Schwartz is still suffering. Brilliant from Stepaniuk and Akpe-Moses. 11.50 on the nose. She was the second quickest qualifier for a reason. That's a new lifetime best for the 17-year-old Ukrainian, dropping 500ths off her PB, and it's a lifetime best for Akpe-Moses in second with 11.62. They both are thoroughly delighted with that performance. Now, Schwartz did come through for third, so she and Pagliorini are tied and that's fine. They are the two non-automatic qualifiers, both on 11.72. So the German does make it, but there are still question marks on the evidence of that performance.
Well, this was a absolutely blistering start from Stepaniuk. Akpamose always a little bit slower out of the blocks, and then she gets those long legs motoring, but there was too much ground to make up on Stepaniuk, who was absolutely flying down the home straight. Indeed, that time of 11.50, third fastest time of the morning, and even quicker evening, I should say. Mabel Akande the quickest at 11.48, Stepaniuk 11.50, and Ademo Douala, sparkling 15-year-old, 11.56. Those are the three heat winners, and they're the three fastest women. So in that respect, the heat seeding was excellent. And we see Stepaniuk, arms just very slightly waving around, but no doubt at all, their leg speed and the overall torso and cadence was absolutely magnificent. I think there's more to come as well from Precious Akpamose. Just remember, her sister was the winner in 2017.
Such a good performance from the leading pair, and the key is they both looked like they were enjoying it, so they rose to the occasion instead of froze to the occasion. Akande, Stepaniuk, Douala, Akpamose, Bocker, Goretzka, Pagliarini and Schwartz. That is a mouth-watering final in prospect. Come on, 3 Germans through as well. How well does that bode for their 4x1 team?
And down at the beginning of the home straight, they gather for the final of the women's 100 metres. What a race and what a moment for 15-year-old Kelly Douala. Let's take you through from the inside. Helena Schwartz. She looked a little bit out of sorts in the heats and came through in the semis next to her compatriot Anne Bocker. 11.24, 11.40. Precious Akpamose, her sister, has won this title back in 2017. She's a brilliant 200-metre runner. What can she do over the 1? Mabel Akande in excellent form in qualification. Semis of the World Under-20s last year. National champion in July, 11.36. Stepaniuk has looked sensational in qualification for this final. She's under real pressure. This is a huge moment for these young athletes, but she doesn't look like she's feeling it. And neither does Kellyanne Douala. Anne coming because her mum likes Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. And Fraser-Price would certainly be impressed by the composure of the young woman. 17th on the world all-time list for this age group. Emma Goretzka, a PB in Berlin on the 14th of June, 11.49. Could she break that lifetime best again? And Alice Pagliarini, a second Italian in this race. And up where we're commentating, the stand is full of Italians, and they're watching with expectation and hope. Schwartz, Germany 1, Bocker, Germany 2, Akpamose, Ireland 3, Akande, Great Britain 4, Stepaniuk, Ukraine 5, Douala, Italy, the 15-year-old favourite here in Finland in 6, Goretzka, Germany 7, Pagliarini, Italy in 8. The final of the women's 100 metres. So young, so talented, and no nerves yet. Can she hold it together for the biggest race of her young life? What a story this would be here on a fabulous Friday night in Finland. Douala third from the left-hand side. The stand is absolutely packed here in Finland, and Douala is up. Also running well, Pagliarini. Oh, but Douala, she's in a class of her own. Brilliant run. How does she not feel the pressure? How does she not feel the nerves? At 15 years of age, she has come here and smashed a brilliant field. Excellent silver for a Candy. But they were all left floundering by Duala. Stepaniuk, it looks as though, has come through for the bronze. I thought at one stage Pagliarini was running well. And there's the realisation that the young Ukrainian has got on the podium. Pagliarini only missed out on making it 2 Italians on the podium by 100th of a second. But what a story. Kellyanne Duala is the European Under-20 champion. And from 20 metres into the race, it was never in doubt. She is nerveless. And a new star is born here on a fabulous Friday night in Finland. Remember the name, Kellyanne Duala. What a talent and what a night.
Well, what a fantastic performance from the Italian, and the Italians alongside us are just going absolutely wild. But Mabel Akande, she should be very, very pleased indeed with that silver medal. Just a shade outside of her personal best. Duala, just 100th outside of her own Italian under-20 record. And just remember, it's worth reiterating, she is only 15 years of age. She's one of the youngest ever champions at the European Under-20 Championships. This is an event that goes all the way back to 1970. We've had a myriad of winners here over the years, but Duala, just 15 years of age, that is absolutely incredible performance. What a future she's going to have. I just hope she can stay fit and just turn that into something absolutely magnificent. I'll tell you what, when you think about sprinting, you often think about the Americans. The Jamaicans are all doing fantastic things at high schools. Well, Europe has got their very own high school star. And as you were saying, her name's Kellyanne Duala. Look at this, lane 6, quick starting. 30 metres into the race, she puts on the afterburners. That's the end of the story as far as this 100 metres title is concerned. Akande tries to shut her down, running magnificently, but in the end, the difference is almost 0.2 of a second. Kellyanne Duala, well, that sets things up as well for possibly greatness over the 4x100 metres relay for the Italians later on.
Well, especially if you bear in mind that they've got Valentin who can come in, the 200-metre runner, stepping down to the 4x1. The Italians are absolutely over the moon. And they've had a great win in the women's triple jump earlier today. A word for Pagliarini, actually, considering she came through as a non-automatic qualifier. She ran really well on the outside and very, very nearly nicked a bronze.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrific performance. Just looking across the field, of course, all the headlines are going to be about Kellyanne Duala, but Precious Akpamoses trailing home 8th. Little bit disappointing. She never really got into her running. I hope she can bounce back because she's got every chance of being a medal prospect over 200 metres. She's going to need to just calm down and take stock of the situation.
Kellyanne Duala is the European Under-20 champion at the age of 15, and she stormed to the title. Fabulous silver for Akande, and Stepaniuk a brave bronze and an emotional one for Ukraine. What a race and what a star the sport has found.
Hello, I'm Leonardo Fabri, and you must subscribe to the European Athletics channel because otherwise I'm gonna fight you.